So I had this weird question that my seafood guy asked me.
Okay.
So last night when I was closing, he just was like shooting shit with me, like, "Oh, you do you work on Sundays?" I'm like, "Oh, usually not. I don't request it. I just usually."
So nice, man. Like when I do get one, it's like, oh.
I usually don't. I don't request it, but anyway, I'm like, yeah, I usually don't, And then he's like, he was mumbling, sort of like football based. He was like, well,
Oh, during the season, you mean? Like, it
yeah,
kind of sucked?
Yeah. So he's just, and then he was mumbling and I couldn't hear him. And then he just and then he like leans over towards me, he looks at me in the eye, and he goes, I have a 5 foot wide, 2 inches tall. And that's what I heard. And I just stared at him and I'm blinking and I'm like...
That's a chode.
I'm like...
That's a chode, bro.
I'm like...
5 feet wide.
I'm like...
That's an impressive chode, but a chode nonetheless.
A world record chode.
I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, oh, I got this projector. You should come over and watch. And I'm like, dude, I had...
Details, bro.
Like, watch the game with me. I'm like, bro, I'm like, thank God, because I thought you were going on a complete different direction. Because I couldn't hear what he was saying, because he's got, like, mush mouth.
Right.
So he's got peanut butter in his mouth.
Okay.
And then, like I said, just he was into me. He, like, leaned over like it was something private.
Right,
Like, he
and
didn't
then
want
you
anyone
say
else to hear.
some measurements
I got something
like that.
5 foot wide, 2 inches. I'm like, what? What the fuck is he talking about? Kind of freaked me out for a split second.
Use a tape measure or Pythagoras theorem? Like,
I don't fucking know.
Where'd you go?
It kind of freaked me out.
Have a hypotenuse.
So
I mean, if you want to watch Brady this year...
No, I don't think I'm going over to his house.
Came out of retirement. Yeah, well, yeah, no, not if he's got 5 foot wide, 2 inch tall. I don't know, ladies. I don't know. I mean, you might
nowadays
a horizontal size queen, if we could call it that. I mean, I don't really know. There's a lot of weird shit going around. And I mean, speaking of dick swinging, you see, Elon Musk challenged Putin to a fight.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
What's it on? Instagram?
I know it almost feels like
on Mars.
Mortal Kombat is coming to Earth. Like we're challenging each other for the fate of the realm. I have no idea.
That's what he said. He was like, and he said it like,
yeah, I challenge.
I challenge you. The winner gets Ukraine.
Did he say it?
We are gonna meet on the streets at high noon outside of the OK Corral. Like what the fuck? Where do we live right now?
Was it in an interview or he just said a tweet?
He just tweeted it.
Oh, okay, just a tweet.
Casual tweet.
Either he wants to die, either he wants to die, or he doesn't think Putin's like
right because they stripped him of like his black belt, like the International Taekwondo Federation stripped him of his status of his official status as a black belt, and I thought immediately like, thank God that like the information doesn't stay with you. Like it really, you have to have the belt on for it to work.
Yeah. He doesn't
That's
know
how it works.
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Because if you don't have the belt, you can't
lift his leg for a kick.
If Chuck Norris doesn't have those ripped jeans and big boots on, he can't do anything.
But I think I think there's a thing called guns that he could use. And I'm sure that's
drones,
or drones, missiles, nukes. I don't know. He's got plenty of other options. I don't really think. But
would Putin fight on horseback?
He's fighting shirtless. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking know. He actually might get down to his underwear and fucking fight. But you know how...
Good old mud wrestle.
It'd be hilarious.
Just get totally naked. You want to fight in... That's how you win a fight every time. Just get totally naked.
A fucking comedian
said... Like, what are we going to do?
A comedian said that. I can't remember.
Like, who's going to come at you?
Right. He said...
Just start like... Now, cops will. Yeah. If the guy you're fighting is an off-duty cop, they've dealt with PCP, like nut jobs, and they'll be like, all right, buddy, I've done this before. Like, let's see what you got here. Let's see how strong these drugs are.
You got to be confident. Like, if you have a small dick, so. You're not... I mean, I'd rather get beat up than, I'm just saying.
I feel like that'd be more psychological. Would it be more psychological to fight a naked dude with a big dick or a small dick?
No, just a naked man in general.
Just a naked... But if he had a big dick, I'd be scared he could use it as a weapon, potentially, like...
But I'm saying...
Dude, what if?
But I'm just
like
saying...
Booty tank.
Right.
Wow.
But I'm saying the naked guy in general, he's got to feel confident. Like, because
if
he gets naked, yeah, he's not going to get fight. Then he's going to get left. Because then he's got a small-ass dick. Like, I'm just saying. But then it'd be weird if
he uses that anger to fuel his punches.
Be easier to kick him in the balls, though, right?
That's true.
I know that's not particularly,
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I know it's frowned upon.
That would be...
There's no such thing as a fair fight.
It'd be hilarious if Elon Musk actually knows how to fight. That would be hilarious, and he actually...
I have no idea.
He's too socially awkward.
Right? I have no idea.
There's no way.
I really don't.
It'd be funny.
It'd be interesting to see.
It
would be interesting to see.
He'll have like a fucking exoskeleton suit.
Oh, right.
It's like just stomping around.
It'd be like Iron Man, sort of like
He'd have
like a fucking suit and like programmed like all this other shit, or
it's like playing his like top 10 list, like his music playlist, like as he's doing it.
It's all by
so
rhymes.
we can all agree that Putin would win a one-on-one fight.
I feel like he would.
Yeah, just because the fact that he has military background, like if you're talking legitimately military background,
didn't he work in the KGB and shit? Like,
there's no way
like
he's losing.
And he wrestles bears. The only other person to do that is Khabib. So, and I don't know about you guys.
What about Hezbollah?
I'm not trying to fight Khabib.
I love him.
Oh, I do too.
I love him. It's just such an interesting condition. And yeah, and like I was a child, right? But he's not. Like, so
I saw a clip. It was someone took
Eastern
the Mandalorian.
European Gary Coleman.
Someone took the Mandalorian of him with Baby Yoda like flying away, and they put Hezbollah there, and it was like me escaping Russia with the only thing I care about.
Damn.
He was just like running away with.
Damn, that's fucking funny.
That's
fucking funny.
I mean, speaking of which, has anybody challenged you guys to a fight like in recent years, or even if not, like? When's the last time you think you were in a fight?
Oh, high school. I got
high school. Mine was yesterday.
With?
All right. I'm on my patio. Just had a gentleman come out to rescreen because they've just repainted everything. Just got the patio repainted.
Yeah,
had to remove. Right. So getting new screens. So gentleman comes out to rescreen the panels, and I'm sitting there having a smoke. He's just about wrapped up, and I look up.
And he wants one.
No.
Oh.
I see a wasp on the inside. Because at first I was like, let me look up. And I'm like, no, that dude's on the inside. So I'm like, show him out the front door. And as I do so, I get a flip-flop, my chocolate of doom. And I go back outside. And it's still on that spot. And I just very carefully just eyeball it, right? Very carefully. And whack! Give him a good one. Falls right to the ground, and he's twitching and writhing in pain and everything. So I'm taking like the front, like where your toe would be, and just dabbing him down. And he's like, oh no.
Now, do we have tape of this?
No. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, yeah, dude, I gotta fucking take you out because it's not like a bee. Like a bee, I would probably show try to coax it out. Like, come on, I'd probably blow smoke on him just so he'd be like, no, I need to get out of here. Whereas a wasp, it just pisses it off, and it just boom,
but
and
a bee can sting you too.
Yeah, but he stings you once. It's like a suicide bomber. Like you can't come back and be like, let me go collect pollen. Whee! Like it's not gonna happen. So the wasp being able to do it multiple times, I felt as more of a threat, so I felt like I had to take it out. And as
Plus,
I was
they don't
doing
pollinate
it,
anything.
right, he's curling up, and I was just like, yeah, man. Right, I was trying to make myself feel better.
So how'd you
just
feel
like,
taking a life?
well, I'm looking at it, and I was just like, you know what, dude? Like, you're an asshole. Like, you would have just you just sting people for no reason. It's a wasp. And I'm thinking about what I'm doing to it, and I'm like, in that moment, I'm like, we're not so different, you and I.
Did you bury him?
No, he's still out there.
Oh, okay.
Just sitting out there?
Yeah.
Just chilling?
Probably. I think I just swept him into the corner.
Okay. Well, good for you.
He'll deteriorate.
Did you get sweaty?
No, my heart was beating a little bit because I thought when you pop him off the screen like that, as it's falling, I can't tell because the wings are still twitching and everything. That is this dude like about to like right into my face and sting me, or no, he just fell.
I love a fucking nice nest that they've been working on for a while, and just fucking spraying a whole can of fucking wasp spray right in that motherfucker. Oh, dude, I feel like fucking Putin with Ukraine right now. Let me tell you, when I do shit like that, whoo, gets me pumped up.
Gets you going. But I totally won that fight, and
I would hope
like I had to be courageous.
So now you feel like any wasp situation you're pro at now, right?
He's got
Pretty much.
You got it.
I'll get my sandal.
No wasp spray. You're just strictly
Every Latino
sandal.
mother would agree with me. Sandal, 100%.
Okay.
Like a batarang, just.
Okay.
I'm just not that accurate. I gotta practice.
Any other fights? I feel like no one would really want to fight you. You seem like a pretty...
I'm a lover, not a fighter,
Yeah.
man. I try to diffuse the situation of just like...
I don't.
Well, but that's the most important rule of all. There was a guy in the news recently that was working at like a Dunkin' Donuts, I think.
Don't know.
Where he worked is irrelevant. I'm sorry. But there was an older gentleman that came in, And there was some confusion in the drive-thru. Things couldn't get put through. And the old guy comes in. Now, this fellow that's working here is a black gentleman. And he decides that he wants to start dropping N-bombs in the store. Now, they have told him several times. And he did himself. Like, stop. Like, they're calling the police.
Right.
They're getting him out of there. He's causing a disturbance. He's being aggressive. And he kept saying it to him. And the dude was just like, bro, like, no more. Like, that's enough. I've heard it for the last time. And he kept at it, and the guy punched him right in the face. Dude came down, like, he ended up dying.
Oh,
right.
Shit.
It's an all too well-known tale. But there's a happy side to this, because they were talking about it on Drew Garabo Live, and I called in on It's Okay, It's Not Okay. Because, come to find out, the history of this older man that he took out is not only luring young men in the neighborhood to perform pornographic acts in his bedroom, which he videotaped, was investigated by the police, nothing could stick, kept doing it, investigated by the... Right. In and out, and then kept just dropping N-bombs on this. Of course, he doesn't know that this guy is, he's just mad because of what he's being called, and rightly so, because, in my opinion, you get what you asked for.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you didn't get what you asked for at the drive-thru, but now you've ordered something that you're about to get.
Sandwich.
Right. You're about to get it.
So they're not going to
in my opinion,
so they're not going to...
He got like...
so you'd get manslaughter on that or something.
Right, he got manslaughter, but it was... he gets like house arrest. Like several months house arrest. Right. And I'm just like, you know what? For once, I'm kind of like... Because I've heard stories like that before. Guy gets into a fight with another guy at the bar. It spills out into the sidewalk. One punches the other, hits his head on a planter. He's dead. Prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is it worth it?
25 to life.
The best self-defense is avoiding the fight, in my opinion, and diffusing the situation, which I have tried to do my best to do so. Haven't always been successful.
Yeah.
But I damn sure took care of that wasp when it needed to be taken care of.
So other than the wasp, no fights.
You don't pay rent?
No fights at all. Not even in high school, middle school, pre-K.
Well, yeah, maybe then, but like nothing that I can really remember. There was one kid in 5th grade that used to get picked on a lot by everyone else in class. And my buddy Paul Caruso, who was just walking by the desk. Paul was a cool kid. Very creative, not particularly athletic, also got teased by the popular kids and the jocks, as I did as well, and somehow like I fused with them because they realized I was good at sports, and then I became cool. But nothing made me cooler in 5th grade, at 10 years old, than slugging this dude in the mouth, because in his, feeling like everybody's making fun of him, the teachers were out of the room, and everyone starts ripping, as they usually do, but a lot more kids than usual are calling him names and ripping on him. And he holds up a textbook like he's going to throw it. Mm-hmm. Paul is walking right, trying to get back to his desk. Paul has nothing to do with this and has never caused a problem with this kid or ever with anybody else trying to cause issues. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm right there. So I just put my hand up and grabbed his wrist. What does he do? Right on my arm. I've seen way too many zombie movies at too young of an age to take that lightly. And that's what the day I learned that I had a nice right hook and just... We both got sent to the principal's office. He was in tears, busted nose, bleeding out the face. I've got a big old bite mark on my arm. We explain it to, and they were nuns at Sacred Heart Catholic School at Pinellas Park, but they didn't dress like nuns.
Okay.
It was almost like a Hillary Clinton,
they were dirty nuns.
What is that? No.
They were sinning all day.
The pantsuit look, businesswoman attire kind of thing. But they were old ladies. Sister Mary Williams.
Okay.
We're explaining this to her, and I'm just pissed.
Right.
Because they sent us both, and I felt like I defended myself.
Yeah.
And he's doing the whole sob story and everything, but when he ran through it exactly as how it happened. We're kids. We don't... Right. We're not lying to be like, it's going to look better in court if I say this or don't say that.
Change anything.
He just... Because he's so worked up in the emotion, and I'm just sitting there, shaking because I've never hit someone in my life like that. I was a little shook up. It's almost like, a Rittenhouse. You finally take a life, and you're like, oh, shit, this is real. It takes you back. Let's be real. And so he goes through his whole bit, and he's sobbing through the whole thing, pleading his case, and she says... Wait a minute. You bit him first? And then she leans over and goes, I would have hit you too. And I was like, hell yeah, like this is my shit right here. But we still got a week's worth of in-school recess detention. So every 30 minutes of recess each day for that week, so 5 days in a row, we had to sit in the assistant principal's office, which was Sister Mary Williams' office, and basically write about, why we shouldn't fight and better ways to resolve our conflicts than fisticuffs, if you will.
Now, as I've gotten older...
Now, I don't know how to get some dude off me that's biting, but yeah.
With a fist.
That worked. I'll tell you what.
As I've gotten older, I'm a calmer person.
I'm glad I met you at this point in your life.
I'm a calmer person because when I was in high school, especially, even though I tried to get along with everybody, I was a class clown. I got into some fights.
Right. People trying to take down that want to be the silly funny guy, and they're like, "Why is this kid getting attention?" They try to mouth off at you.
No, because I'm going to tell you, this is my infamous. This was in. Speaking of Pinellas Park, this is when I went to Pinellas Park High School my senior year. Okay. I was only in Pinellas Park my senior year. I was very particular about how I dressed and my clothes and my shoes, right? Okay. And Pinellas Park is
looking fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
You still do, man. As
the kids say,
clean as fuck.
So, Nike. And it's all one big building, and it's all indoors, right? Like, all your classes are indoors. So, in between classes, I'm going to class, and some kid stepped on my shoe. He didn't know. He was just, it was just an accident, right? Uh-huh. Well, I looked down, and I saw a shoe mark. Yeah. And then I just lost
brand
it.
New white shoes.
Yes.
Got scuffed. Yes. I know these kids when I was in school. Go ahead.
And I lost it. This kid had no clue what was happening. I pinned him up against a locker and just started fucking slugging him.
Damn!
I lost it.
That's what I'm so glad
I lost it. And then he had no fucking clue. And then by the time anybody came to help, I just walked in the crowd and went to class.
You guys never to be seen.
Nobody knew me.
All right, he was new.
No one knew me. That was I was only there 1 year, and that was like during the first month.
It's like prison. Kick someone's ass the first day, become somebody's bitch.
Exactly. Well, speaking of prison, right? I went in Northeast High School. That's where I went from 9th to 11th.
Went to prison.
It was kind of ran like a prison jail
I've heard
system.
Some things about Northeast.
Because it's right outside of the hood, and it's kind of like a bigger campus. You have to go outside to go in between buildings, and you have to know people. You have to have friends, be in a group, a clique. If you're not, you're easy pickings.
That is some prison yard
shit. Yeah. No,
kids learning that at a young age.
Oh yeah, like I'll tell you, I see some shit where I saw a girl grab brass knuckles and fucking beat the shit out of this other chick.
Nice.
Yeah, it was shit like I can't make this shit
I've heard
up.
stories in Largo High from some of my old baseball coaches that are similar to that. It was almost like fucking gang fights, between groups.
Because I went to Pinellas Park too for all 4 years, and there's so many fights that happened, and the one I remember vividly.
Which is weird because they have a police program. Too.
Oh yeah, they take with the criminal justice.
There's cops on campus. And it's hilarious because they always get
involved. It's like Bayside High School across from 49th Street Jail. And I get the correlation between the two, but you got to think that a lot of shit goes down there as well. Savor the irony.
But there's basically, I don't know if you remember the tables. They might probably have different tables, but they fold up, and they're made of really thick, plastic and almost metal.
Yeah.
They fold them up and they put them away at the end of the week.
Yes.
For the weekend, and so they're folded up. The chairs are attached to it, and so they're on the side of it. So big triangles on the side of the mall, as they called it, which is just a big area in between all the classes.
Right.
And then
with a little shop in the middle, you can buy some fucking Pinellas Park High School gear if you want to.
Some merch.
Some merch.
But it was Friday, and it was freshman year. It was 2 weeks in. I barely knew anyone. I had just come from a preparatory middle school, and this is my first time seeing public. I was like, holy shit, these kids are weird. and then
Make a man out of you.
there are 2 senior girls. I saw just people all of a sudden noises everywhere. I just see people running.
Great taste, less filling. And then they get in the fountain, and it's just, remember that commercial? Me and my dad would be just fixated on the TV for a good 30 seconds. Yeah. Go ahead.
But everyone was running. I was like, the fuck's going on? It was the first fight I ever saw in high school.
Oh, okay, yeah.
2 senior girls. I saw the end of the fight. I saw one move, which was they were like, you know how like they just swing like overhead like that? Like, there's no punch. There's
right.
just,
you grab hair and you Jewish hammer.
Yeah. But they were like almost. It looked like boxing. Like they were like in the clinch together, like holding,
just squared up.
And then one pushes up, grabs by the hair, and swings.
Mm-hmm.
This girl left her feet, swung completely like horizontal, and slammed her into the tables that were folded up.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
And she just crumpled.
It's
and
like
then
an incredible Hulk.
I was like, holy
bam!
shit! And then the like SRO came over and like immediately grabbed her and fucking handcuffed her and like all that. And I was like, oh my god, welcome to public high school.
There you go, man.
Make a
like,
man,
holy
man
What
or
do you
woman.
think it's like out on the streets?
But I was
It's gonna be
oh
like
my
the grouchy
God.
ladybug.
gotta be
You
prepared.
joked about that. Like, could you imagine if you walk down the street? Hey, you want to fight? Yeah, you ain't big enough, and talk shit. Like you said, you get a brick thrown at the back of your head.
Clocked immediately.
You get pulled by your hair and gone slung horizontal into a bunch of folded up tables.
And
Yeah.
it's just not, and I've almost gotten into a lot of fights, but the one time I've ever gotten into a legitimate fight, I didn't throw a single punch, and I got knocked out right away, which was also at high school.
Dang.
Ninth
Same girl?
freshman year?
No, this was junior year.
As she's walking out, she just punches.
It was
just to get one more punch
Get
in
another
before
in.
she gets handcuffed. You know, like
This was junior year. I want to say it was before winter break. Like, it was either the week before winter break or that Friday before winter break.
okay.
And we're all out at the bus circle. We're just sitting on the grass waiting for the buses to come. And I'm sitting like this, and then most of my friends are sitting like around me, like they're not around me, but just in a circle near me like this. And then everyone's coming out over here from the school. And so we're talking, whatever. All of a sudden, everyone looks up that way. And as I turn to go look at whatever the fuck anyone's looking at, out of my peripheral, I just see a fist.
Oh, you get sucker punched?
Gone. I was out cold.
What the fuck?
And so we're all sitting, and then
That's when you know when you hit the concrete and it's like,
well, no, because
He went to fucking sleep.
some
He went to fucking sleep.
of us had gotten up, and I was standing, and I was next to this like
wait, what?
right. I just stood up, and I grabbed my backpack, and I get up, and then they all like look, and I turn, and as I'm turning, I get hit. And have you ever been knocked out before?
No,
Have you ever been knocked out before?
No.
I've seen
fainted.
people. I've seen people get knocked out.
It doesn't feel like you're falling. It feels like the ground comes up and meets you. You feel like you're still
Yeah.
So
standing.
you're already there and it
Yeah,
just...
it feels like you're standing,
It's-
and then the world comes up and just like connects.
Because you get up, because you pop back up instantly, kind of, right? Or were you
no,
sleeping?
I was sleeping.
Oh, he was. Oh shit.
I was sleeping for like 30 seconds.
Oh shit. He had a pillow
And
a
then-
fucking-
Well, who hit you? I have questions.
Who was this?
I
kid?
didn't
I'm
know
fucking
him.
mad.
Well, why did he hit
I
you?
got because we're in
This
the
is
grass.
bullshit.
We're in the grass.
Fuck
I'm
this guy for
standing
no
up.
particular reason.
I'm standing up because I see buses coming in, so I'm getting ready to go. Everyone looks. I get hit. I wake up. I'm like, holy shit! My head is fucking pounding. All I can hear is just like your heartbeat, like the thump, the thump, the thump, the thump, the thump.
It's like that movie Click. Adam Sandler. He paused and hit the guy and then unpaused, and he's
wakes
like,
up,
"Man,
yeah.
I got a serious
Whoa,
headache."
Holy shit! I look up. All my friends are like looking down at me. I feel like I'm getting fucking abducted by aliens. I'm like, what is going on? I look over. I see a kid I don't fucking know who's handcuffed on the ground. Fucking Officer Pick is like on him, like
Officer
knees on
Pick.
him. Officer Pacone is fucking on him.
Pacone.
Pacone. But he's on him and fucking looking over at me, looking down at this kid. I don't know this kid. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm like,
Gang
what is
initiation,
going on?
bro.
I was like, did someone I was like, what is going on? I come to find out, a day later, I forgot why the hell this kid punched me. One of his friends told me I was sleeping with his girlfriend. He didn't even do it as like.
Always go to the
He didn't even do it like he legitimately thought I was the guy.
Just got some hearsay and was like,
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. And just fucking him. The kid who told him was wrong, didn't know, apologized to me. He came to me and was like, dude, I'm so fucking sorry.
You should have punched him in the face.
You know what?
That's what he said.
At
He's
least
like, I don't blame you if you fight me right now. I'm so sorry.
No, not even fight you. I get to just punch you because I just got clocked for no reason.
Well, at
I was
least
like,
he
dude,
apologized, though.
No, okay, yeah.
The kid who hit me didn't say shit.
Yeah,
He didn't say shit. He didn't apologize. He didn't like.
and then he fucked his girlfriend for real. This
I
would have been the best.
I would have.
Cake
That's the
topper.
thing. I didn't even fucking know. I didn't know who his girlfriend was.
Even
Maybe
who
you
his
should have got
girlfriend
to know
is.
him.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you should have got to know him.
David, if you're watching this, fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't know
Fuck
you,
David.
And if I see you, I'll punch you back.
Let's just make shirts and say "fuck
Yeah,
you,
fuck
David,"
you, David.
and walk around with him because guys named David. But,
His name's fucking David.
There is this one kid I remember in high school. He was like friend, like he was in our clique. He loved the UFC. This is like when UFC like first started.
This guy's wearing his affliction shirt to
Oh
school.
no, always wore
Tap out?
Yes,
No.
always tap out gear, UFC shirts, whatever. And he was a taller dude. He wasn't really he wasn't muscular.
Right,
He was flabby, but he was fairly
big.
tall.
That's
Right.
mass.
And, I mean, you want to talk about me having anger issues. Let me tell you about this guy, okay? He was so into UFC. I remember we were standing in the lunch line at Northeast, and he was just, like, talking about the fights that happened last night. He was like, man, it was so fucking, good, whatever.
Rampage Jackson, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Mr.
exactly.
T. It's gonna be BA in the new
Exactly.
A-Team movie.
He's like, I'm itching for a fight. I'd fight anybody right now. He goes, you just tell me to fight somebody, and I'll do it. I'm like, really? So I tested I wanted to test his
You're
theory.
the kid who got the guy to punch me.
Yes. There was a kid in
Bro,
front
the
of
sleeping with your girl,
There-
bro.
no, I didn't even have to do that. There was a kid in front of him. I go, fight him.
Shit, that guy.
Yeah, right in front of you. And he goes, for real? I'm like, well, yeah, you just said you wanted to fight some. Fight him. And he taps him on the shoulder, and then he just starts fucking beating the shit out of him in the lunch line. and then it's a big man, big black SRO officer is coming in tackling him, and he's fighting with the SRO officer. They're like fighting on the tables and shit.
Jesus.
I'm like, thank God he's my friend, because I do not. Thank God.
He was
That's
pissed
like
at me.
there was a lady. It's like the second time she's been to. I got to look at the story again, but this has been circulating. The second time that she's been to the hospital for the same student. The student is 5 years old.
Wow.
Something he did on the last side, like knocked her over, and she hit her head on the desk. And but that's what I'm like. What the fuck is going on?
No, I felt bad for that kid, but you know how like kids talk shit. Yeah, that's
Well,
just
it's like that meme where it's like, yeah, you just want to see if they'll do something stupid. You don't want them to get hurt, and it's a stop sign, but it's green.
well,
You're just kind of like, let's just check it out.
Well-
How about that kid right there? Go ahead, hit him. Like,
well,
you
yeah.
don't think he's gonna do it, and then he
Right.
does, and you're like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, because like it was still like in the beginning stages of like knowing him, like we were just bullshitting whatever, but he was in our clique, and so yeah,
He's serving 10 to 12 at San Quentin. Right
I was
now.
just seeing calling him out, and he did. That kid had no fucking clue. He was just waiting in line for lunch.
Oh,
Trying to get that
It's
dry
you.
ass
It was,
chicken
it was a
sandwich.
polite.
That kid right there.
It was a polite tap
got a
on the
nice
shoulder.
tap. You know what? He
turned
should
around,
have just been like brushed his hair out. He's like,
and he just got.
ah!
But that wasn't the only fight he got into.
I'm sure.
I'm sure not. He's just practicing for the next one.
This was a big fucking serious fight in junior high school. This kid was like that used to be in our group was just talking mad shit, and he told all of us, the 4 of us, on because we got together at lunch, and he goes when he goes because next door there's a basketball court and it's fenced in, and he goes, you guys just stand in front of the door to give the officers time, okay? So, and this was...
Bro, this is some prison yard
Yo,
fucking shit
this
right
is
here.
out-
I'm
Out,
like,
it's fucking
I'm
right?
telling you, this is out.
like this is like a scene on Oz.
yes,
right here.
I can't make
I'm
shit.
getting ready.
Northeast High School. This is
I'm
fucking-
listening, bro.
It was outside hardwood, old school concrete.
Hardwood.
Okay.
Hardwood concrete.
Hardwood.
kind of concrete.
Whatever. It was fucking concrete. Okay.
In the shape of dicks.
Yes, and the kid that was talking shit was playing with 2 others, and he quickly tells those 2 others to get the fuck out. now, and they just go, okay,
clear out.
Right.
Yeah,
Y'all
that's what happened. So then
it's
says them two. Then we close the gate and we stand in front of it to block the gate. And dude, and then it just started off.
Accomplice.
You don't
know. I'm just teasing you. I know you don't feel that way. You do because you want to see what goes down, so you're a part of it.
Look, I was watching.
Pressures,
but when the officers came, I kind of walked out, away from the
sure.
Away
Yeah,
from
you
the
don't
door.
want to be implicated
I'm not trying to get. Yeah, but I was watching. I'm I feel bad for this guy. Don't be talking shit. So it started off slow, and then
no shit, there won't be no shit.
Exactly.
Right? Words ring true.
And you could see he watched a lot of UFC because then he put him in a grappling move and then fucking slammed him. His head hit the fucking concrete, and then he just mounted him and was just fucking decking him, dude. You see fucking golf carts flying because there's a bunch of us circling. It literally was like an old school cage match where you see the kids hanging on the fences. The kids were hanging on the fences, dude. And bro, and then they fucking had to tase that kid.
I was going to say.
They had to tase him.
I'm sure they would have used some non-lethal means to take him out, considering the size, like you said, he was, and that he fought with an officer previously in an altercation with somebody. You've got notes on this guy now. Okay, you're probably authorized to handle it in different ways than you normally would approach somebody the first time. But it was intense,
dude. I felt adrenaline. I was fucking pumped. I was so excited. I'm man, dude, I feel bad for that.
There's something about the correlation, man.
You better learn how to fucking fight. That's what happens when you talk shit.
Don't get in the fucking cage in the first place.
Well, they were playing.
They were playing basketball.
Come
on. There's nothing leading up to it. They were just pissed about basketball.
No.
He had been talking shit about this dude, and they just so happened to see him playing. It's the perfect setup. Let's keep him in here.
He saw him playing basketball with two random people, and then he got us on lunch.
I thought the dude who started the fight was playing basketball, and the other guy came in.
No, he told those two randoms to get the fuck out now. And then we closed the gate.
I hope they weren't friends with that dude, because that'd be shitty friends. Get out!
They are shitty friends. I'm sure they were.
Dude,
they were probably scared too.
You
make your bed.
He had those crazy eyes. And it's you don't want to fuck with that.
Might as well lie.
He had fucking craters on the side of his foot, like fucking huge ass lumps on the side of his fucking.
He's been getting slapped around himself.
Dude, it was.
That's usually the case. A lot of children that end up committing a lot of different acts of violence and then becoming really violent offenders in their adult life, murderers and serial killers, are often at the hands of their parents treated in such a way, and that they're just fuck everything. Obviously, one of the underlying things that you notice is them handling animals in that sense, abusing animals. Let me have control over something that can't fight back. Like the guy, it's fight that one. Was it a person a lot smaller than him?
No, it was just a regular dude.
No, not particularly? Okay. I was going to say, was he picking up AR?
No, I just was
some kind of feeling of having total control to destroy something. He was just
so in the UFC, dude. And he was 16, I remember. And this minute he walked out the school bus, he's just smoking cigarettes. Man, I had such a hard day.
I can relate to that.
I had such a hard day, man.
I can relate to that. I wasn't slugging people at school and then being like, woo! No, I was just fuck that class.
It was funny. And I got more if you guys want to hear.
Oh, him talking about getting sucker punched. I will say, I've done that once in my life. Sucker punch somebody. I know. There's no honor in that. I get it. But when you hear me out and you hear the reason why, you might be like, I could see that.
Well, was he a wasp?
Hold on. The kid that stepped on my shoe. A
white Anglo-Saxon person? He sure was.
That was a sucker punch.
He sure was. Okay, so my friends... And many of you may, exhibit similar behavior or know people that exhibit similar behavior.
We gotta get the timeline. What grade, age?
Oh, we have graduated high school. I'm 22, 23 at this time.
Okay. Scenery, where? Where is this located?
The Roundup. Off of Hillsborough. It's basically Tampa, but it's Oldsmar becoming Tampa.
The Roundup, what's that bar?
It was a country bar.
Okay.
They got the watering trough in Pinellas Park. They had the Roundup. There's Dallas Bowl.
Dude,
there's some country bars
there's
around.
There's some fucking beasts that go to the watering trough.
Right. So,
shit.
A lot of my friends are either into really gangster hip hop and country music. Now, I've never been able to be why? What? Here's the two opposite ends of the spectrum. I can't fucking tell them. They're white dudes, too. So I'm all right, whatever. So we're going to the country bar. I've stated it before. Fuck country music. I hate it.
Right.
But it's my boys, so I'm gonna humor them. I ride in the trucks with them while they. You can listen to whatever you want, man. I really don't care. I don't care. It's not my place. So I go with them to try and have a good time. I'm getting sauced up a little bit. We are having a great night.
Listen to Dolly Parton, just
owning in it. No, I'm tuning out that shit. Every now and then they play Skinner, and I'm like, yeah, turn this one up. Like, all right, like, okay, I'm all right with that. You know, playing darts, hustling pool, because we like to pretend that. My old roommate Brandon taught me that. Like, he taught me how to play pool, but then we would pretend like he would play against me, and I would play like shit on purpose, and then somebody would walk up to the table, like put 5 on the corner of the table, meaning like they want to play for the rights of the table. Right. So after the game's over. Then they'd be like, all right, bro, yeah, he wants to go for the table. And I go, thinking they're going to play him because he beat me. I start, chalking up the cue, and they're like, what the fuck? And then I take him down, and I'm like, ha, gotcha, our table. It's a setup. Well, at the end of the night, we've had a good time. Ready to go. I am drunk. I have a ride. We're ready to get out of here.
That's not a shock.
All filing. We're all piling through the double doors, everybody at once, and there's a bit of congestion.
Yeah.
And and people are shouting in front of us. There's a fight breaking out. That's why we're getting all backed up. We're not even outside of the bar yet. There's a fight breaking out, probably between 2 dudes that accidentally touched hands. And the fragile male ego just becomes enraged, and there's just shout, and nobody's moving. And guess what? Lo and behold, the motherfucker that got all upset about us owning him on the table, that put the $5 bill down, is the one shooting his mouth off in front of me with the curly hair. I did it to Jared. He would know. He was like, I was like, I don't like that guy. He was like, who, this guy? And he kept standing closer and closer. This guy? And then he bumped him, and the guy turned around, and Jared looked, he goes, we got a problem, bro? He's like, no problem. And then he looked at me, and I was just like, right. But that's the dude, and he's still there. He tried to get the pool table. I was a little fuck that dude. And then he's holding us up at the door by creating a commotion with somebody else in front of us, and he can't see me. And everybody's I'm looking behind at Prashant and Jared and everybody. I'm like,
man,
right in the corner. He hits like you did after you pinned that kid up against the locker. We all just kind of filed out with everybody else.
Okay.
And you know what? They bought me McDonald's. Thank you, dude. We were kind of getting pissed. His girlfriend, Jared's girlfriend, had to pee. Everybody was just kind of Argh! And you're gonna hold us up because you want to get angry on the way out. And then cops were rolling in as we were rolling out of the parking lot. And nobody knew it was me except for me and the
little clique, yeah.
The people behind us, obviously.
The little cowboy clique, yeah.
I felt kind of bad, but just he bothered me.
Yeah, plus he was probably a dick,
right? I mean, just his you
can
right.
Guess.
His aura was just fuck this dude.
And especially back in high school, how I describe it. That's why for instance, when we went out to Safety Harbor.
Oh yeah, to Bassano's to watch.
Right,
Johnny
even
B.
though that's not really I don't really like going out, whatever. But I still had a good time, whatever. Even though we went to different bars and places and they were crowded, I was always.
You sizing everybody up?
I'm ready. Yeah, I was.
I'm here to
just
give me a spot at the bar.
Hey, just in case, because you just never know. I'm
bartender.
I'm very alert.
He's in the shadows, just
I am.
Fucker's acting a fool.
I am
not paying attention to his surroundings.
Just in case.
That's why I need to bring you out.
Just in case, if I gotta fuck someone up,
It felt like an escort, somewhat security escort for me and Lexi.
Pretty what? Them two were holding hands, and I'm in the fucking background, looking around. Fucking, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I
felt safe. I don't need a gun.
I had to get his girlfriend out of the bar because it was getting crowded and she was getting stopped, and I had to grab her by the hand and because he was up in front. I'm
looking at the band. They're playing all along the watchtower.
He's out in the parking lot.
He's
out in the parking lot.
I was at the front of the parking lot. They're 50, plus year old dudes just fucking wailing it, and I'm like, yeah, these guys are awesome. Where's everybody? Fuck it, hey!
And I'm shoving people because they're trying to get out of my way. And then there's people trying to hit on Lexi, and then so I had to just grab her by the arm, and then I'm shoving fucking people out the way to grab her. Yeah, no, it was a thing. Yeah, no, I don't give a fuck. Yeah,
I love this song.
Yeah,
play it again, free bar.
like, even though I was chill and relaxed, I really wasn't like I was
Still on
on
edge.
edge.
Yeah.
I'm always looking around.
See me, man. I'm like
like
Jack Black. Lucy.
yeah, no, I'm not looking for a fight, but you know,
I almost start fights.
You get the potential of just like the setting and how it can happen,
and
because it can happen
and I'm
anyway.
Finish it early,
right? And how many fights have happened, obviously, so randomly
I've seen
that it could happen even when you're
over
not
the
aware
slightest thing,
Could
even
be.
if
Your
it's
shoe getting
unintentional.
scuffed.
Right,
sleeping with someone's imaginary girlfriend that you don't know.
wanting to leave the bar and you're holding everybody up.
Oh, I got one worse. You think all of that? I got a doozy for you.
Hit me.
10th grade. Okay, this kid was like kind of like me, into his like shirts. He was like really into his clothes, but his shirts especially.
Looking fresh, right?
This other kid pretended with scissors that he cut his shirt. He pretended.
Oh, I
did
didn't
that.
really.
Do it.
Right.
I'd
That's
be
like
that
touching
kid.
somebody on the back of the neck with a marker,
Right.
flipping around, be like, ooh.
Right.
Like, oh, dude.
So
why?
he starts yelling. He's like, did you cut my shirt? Did you cut my shirt? And he's like, no, I was just kidding, whatever. And then he looks at me and he goes, I don't want to look because I'll flip the fuck out. And he goes, did he cut my shirt?
To you?
To me,
Okay.
because I was his friend.
Right.
Yes, I said yes, even though his shirt was not cut.
No.
And that
Yep.
kid got fucking.
I wanna see what happens.
That kid got fucking rocked.
Damn.
And the teacher's trying to break it up. She's like a little thing. This was science class. You got one kid on the back.
Pretend you're electrons and stay
And
apart.
she was like, she couldn't control it. One kid's in the back on the tables where they got the test tubes and stuff, and he's like, yeah, like everybody's forming a circle, and he was just getting fucking rocked, dude.
You know what? If you couldn't separate that fight, if I were her, I'd be throwing out some like pop quiz physics questions for everybody.
No,
Like,
we did.
Now, if he threw a punch at this velocity, how much time would it take to cover? 2 feet of space in order to
break
make
his
the impact,
No.
and how many hertz of you know what I mean? Like, boom, boom,
Well,
boom,
then
boom,
me and a couple kids actually then grabbed him because you get to a point where
and
it's
good
like
for
it's
you
not.
because he's somewhat,
it's not,
accelerated.
You see, it's not even. The kid's getting his ass
Right,
kicked,
yeah.
and then as I hold him back, I'm like,
kinda sad.
hey, man, I'm just letting you know he didn't really cut your shirt. And he goes, I don't give a fuck, man. He deserved
don't even
it.
care.
He goes, I don't even give a
on
fuck.
him. That's
He
on him.
deserves
You're
it, man.
good.
He shouldn't even be pretending to cut my shirt. Not even to play
that
like that.
jacked up that he didn't even.
Not even fucking
Not
play
even
like that.
pretending is enough. Like, that dude's no fun.
So yes, I have instigated some fights back in my day, but it's like, hey, you know
I
what?
appreciate the honesty.
It was like, school is boring as it is, so it's like,
Shake things up a bit.
See,
exactly.
I almost get into a fight a lot, but I've only gotten into a couple. But there's one time very recently, a few months ago, that I almost got into a fight. I guess I did. I guess instigated a fight like you did. It was me, my friend Ethan, and my friend Andrew. We're at Walmart, which is a great place to start.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
great scenery.
We were just getting snacks, getting Gatorade, not Powerade, but Gatorade, chips, Monsters, and just...
Did you all have like your skateboards and like,
no.
riding out?
Didn't.
Oh, no, okay, sorry.
Ethan skates, Andrew does not.
Sorry, I didn't know if it was like your skateboard click. My bad. Sorry. I'm
My
just
bad,
trying,
bro.
I'm just trying to
Rocket
get,
power.
just trying to get to know you, bro. Just trying to get to know you. That's all. Yeah.
But, yeah, so we went getting snacks, and we had a cart, and we didn't need the cart. We had a couple things in the cart, so we just had a cart.
Oh yeah, I would have fought you right there.
Yes.
I hate. Yeah, you need a shopping cart for 3 things. Yeah, I would have.
We didn't know how much we were going to get.
I would have fucking.
And so we get the cart, and we get our stuff, and we're going to check out. Walmart is notorious. Publix, will fucking open up for one customer. That's, backed up. But Walmart will have, 9, 10 people in a line.
And they let it
just
ride.
chilling, yeah.
Yeah, let it ride.
That's how it was, right?
Yeah, they just
There's 15 registers. There's
Only 2
one,
on here. Only 2 on.
all the way to the frozen
Yeah.
section. They're just, it's not a problem.
There's one there, and one.
What are the
there.
choices you
There's
got?
3 registers active, right?
Yeah.
And there's self checkout. It's over there. That line's the longest. So you got
Of
3 registers. There's 2 that are right next to each other. Have huge line. One over here has 2, 3 people in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. 2, 3 people. Easy. We go over there. I look down the way, and this guy's hustling with a full cart, fucking moving.
Oh shit.
Just moving.
Yeah.
And he sees the
They're
line.
trying to get your parking spot before you make it.
Right. We see line. We're already there. We're there. And we're just moseying along. And we just kind of squeak in around the corner. Make it in. He gets there like 5 seconds after we get there. He's like, dude.
That's a considerable amount of time if you really think about it. Like to walk.
Full seconds.
Right.
Yeah. Or speed walk. He's a power walking. Like
it's like like if you have to wait somewhere for 30, like count to 30 and see how long that fucking takes. Like, it feels forever.
But it would make sense the other way if the guy with the big shopping cart cut in front of them,
right?
Only has a couple things.
I would assume
you should be like, dude, really?
That like because you guys had such little in your cart that you were probably just going to keep going, and it probably upset him. Just I got another wait, another thing.
And he fucking like he was like, dude, and we're like, yeah. And keep in mind, I was pushing the cart, so I'm now in the back. Ethan is in front of me, kind of near the candy, and Andrew is right in this guy's face, like distance of us.
Okay.
And he's like, and I'm like back here, and he's like, dude, and we're like, yeah. And he's like, you cut in line, you cut in front of me, I was here. And we're like, no, we were here first. And he's like, no, you cut in front, let me go in front. And Ethan is just not even caring. He's like looking at fucking airheads.
Right.
And then Andrew just has to answer because he's right in his face. And he's like, dude, we're not moving. We're
now,
here
can
first.
any of you guys fight?
Not really.
You have the most experience. Shit goes down.
Ethan definitely does.
Okay.
Ethan fights. Again, he gets into a lot of fights, and most of the time it just gets into...
I'm feeling it, and I wish I was there, because I'm not saying I'm itching
right,
for a fight.
I would feel like, motherfucker, you want to try me on a point where you are so obviously and clearly wrong, and you're arguing so hard, it's like, I really want a reason to just hit you, because you should just be allowed to get hit.
Because I'd get right up in front of him. Oh, no, bro. What, we got an issue?
I was sensing, like, Ethan looked like he didn't care.
Bro.
Yeah.
Ethan didn't want
You want to go? Pull my pants. Wait, take my shirt off. Want to go? What you want to do?
What do you want to do?
What you want to
Andrew looked like he was gonna start fighting.
Squaring up a little bit, yeah.
I was like...
Well, with him right in his face, I mean, you're gonna have to put up something.
Yeah.
And Andrew, like, kind of like...
social distancing.
He kind of like he looked back at Ethan... Because Ethan's like notorious for just he doesn't.
And he's
fight.
the one spacing out.
Right. He's looking at candy, but he doesn't get into fight like fist fights. He just likes to. It's like more like wrestling. Like he just fucks with people, and just like.
Yeah, if you wrestle, that's a good way to know how to fight. No, but you sweep the legs. Like they're not gonna see that shit coming. They think you're squaring up with somebody, and you're like a goddamn spider monkey, like doing tricks behind their back. He just
brings it like he's done that at fucking skate parks all the time. Like, there's another story there that's fucking insane. We'll still tell after, but. Anyway, he's spacing out. Andrew looks back at him. There's nothing. And he turns, and I guess the guy saw he was looking at me and Ethan. And he goes, I'll fight all three right fucking now. I don't care.
Oh, that's awesome.
How old is this guy?
Well, that's the thing, is we're all late teens, early 20s.
Right. Like, what kind of fight are you
Andrew's the oldest. He's 20. And then Ethan and I are both 19.
Okay.
And
like,
this guy...
at 31, I wouldn't be, like, trying to fight 19 and 20-year-olds. Punks are punks, and I was a punk-ass kid, too, and they're...
I will tell you,
he's clearly wrong. I wouldn't even start to instigate to be like, what the fuck?
If I was there,
I'd be like, what are y'all up to, man? And who knows? You spark the conversation, you guys might be like, this dude's cool, and be like, dude, actually, now that it's our turn, you go ahead, because you've got so much, and you've been such a nice guy.
If you would have explained that he was like late for something...
Y'all what you eat, bud.
Pussy, okay.
Alright. Yeah. If you would explain he was late for something, whatever, you can go in front. Because we were hanging out, we were hanging out, getting
start
snacks,
fucking fighting with
whatever.
People.
He was saying, and keep in mind, I'm in the back, right?
How old was this guy? I'm sorry, I went off.
Like early 20s, maybe mid 20s.
I would have ripped my shirt off and said, "Let's fucking go." You think you want to fucking try me? Call me out like that? Shit, okay.
But I'm in the back.
This is Walmart.
Like I said, like I'm behind, so I know if he's gonna swing, he's hitting Andrew. Andrew's gonna wrap him up.
Or you just turn once again and you just see a fist right here.
Yeah. Maybe his buddy's behind me.
Oh, this again.
Yeah.
The world just.
No, he tells Ethan, "Hey, put a pillow right there. I'm gonna be hitting it soon."
I have a feeling.
But like Andrew's like right in his face, so if anyone's getting clocked, it's him. And then they're gonna end up fucking becoming a tornado, and then Ethan will probably get involved. In my mind, I'm safe. So
I would use the cart as a weapon, man.
He's walking out the front door by the time it reaches him.
I'm peanut gallery all day right now. I'm back here. They're fucking over there. So he goes, I'll fight all three right now. I don't fucking care. And I go, shiver me timbers. Ooh. Back here. He looked straight through Andrew and just right fucking dead in my eyes. I've never seen someone more fucking angry.
It's like a bowl with a red...
Dude, seething. It looked like he went fucking blood red, like almost
It's like that kid in the memes with all the things, and it said just
like
when you haven't told someone.
He was shaking, and he looks directly at me, looks at Ethan, looks fucking like turns and looks right at Andrew, just goes fuck, and then turns, takes the cart, and walks to another line.
Right? What else can you do, dum dum?
Sometimes you have to call them out on their bluff.
Like, how stupid are you?
No, he thought, and then it was like.
Right, you can't. Right,
but sometimes you have to call him out on your bluff because if you act scared, then he might take advantage of you. That's why I'm automatically going to take my shirt off and say what you want to do. What the fuck you say?
I usually go your route. I talk shit,
but
I just talk shit at you. Go ahead and hit me. Make my fucking day.
Like I said,
dude.
I'm not itching for a fight.
You're the one that's going to get charged. Like, I don't give a fuck. Usually I like to get hit first. It's kind of like it gets the juices.
It's a free
flowing.
pass.
Yeah, it gets the juices flowing.
Well, you're still going to get, if you hit him back, you're
Right, you're going to get hit anyway, so you might as well hit me first. Now I have all the reason in the world.
Well, no,
but no one ever goes for it.
You'll still get arrested. You'll still get charged.
If it's self-defense, bro.
No, it's not self. If he hits you first, it doesn't matter. You both are going. You both go.
I'm going to look on that one because I don't feel like that's...
I'm pretty sure there is no, you can look it up
fine.
right now. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I mean,
I'm trying to think of if I have any other funny fight stories. I don't think.
I had one that I was thinking of.
Of what?
Because I thought about it when I was talking about that story. Oh, it's at the skate park. It was one at the skate park. Do you have any more?
I'm gonna think, but tell yours. I'm gonna think if I have any
more.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
This one was again about a girlfriend. I was
a real one this time.
Yes, I was not involved. I didn't know her. I didn't know him or the other person involved, but they were like in this corner park. I see them a lot. It was at Bayhead Skate Park. Anyone who knows that park knows that it's fucking grimy, and all the kids.
Is that where we should go skate this summer?
Grimy. I did for a couple weeks, and then I was like, eh. And I started going to Campbell more if I do go to a park because that's big.
That's the one I keep hearing of.
The people are really nice, and it's a good environment. Bayhead, it's 90% of it is kids who don't skate, and they just have skateboards, and they just smoke pot in the corner, which I can respect. And then they just get into fights. And it's like all just kids who just seem like...
How do you smoke pot and get into fights?
Greasy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, that's like the...
How angry are you?
But this kid... They were talking, and it turned out to be a girlfriend after. Again, same thing. He was like, I don't even think they slept. I was like, he was just flirting with her. And then, guy picked up a skate. He could actually skate, and he was like doing his thing. And this guy was kind of just like, they ended up seeing him, and he like went over to him, and they're like, because it's by a basketball court.
Okay.
And so, they were on, there's like concrete skate park, and then
hardwood concrete or just regular concrete?
Just regular concrete.
Shut the fuck up.
Good old creek.
I fucked up, bro.
I just like...
Shut the fuck up.
It's fun. I do it all the time. I'm sure you got... Yeah. What was it I said? I was trying to say know me enough to know, and what did I say? Know enough me to know that I'll show you the door. Like, yeah.
I fucked up, bro.
Yeah, I do it too. It's just fun.
It was hardwood concrete.
It's not a fight.
And it just kind of...
You'll kill
block.
me. That's the reality.
And then there's like a little bit of grass.
I'm calmer now.
And then a fence.
Right. Yeah. Scuff his shoe.
There's like a foot gap between this fence, concrete, and a little bit of slope of grass that leads down to the fence.
Okay.
And they're like right on the edge of this.
Fucking racist.
It is a slope. Pythagorean theorem. We're back at it.
Oh, yes.
And he was up there, and so he saw this guy. He stopped skating, fucking kicks his board up to him, looked badass, walks over to this kid, and just immediately gets in his face, just fucking like right up into him, yelling at him. Kid instantly shoves him back. I don't know if he was trying to get in a fight. It was just an instinct shove, like.
Well, yeah, like personal space kind of thing.
So he's
like some people really get uncomfortable.
Again, this is beside because the other fight I saw was like the end of the fight where the girl swung. This was the fastest fight I've ever seen.
Is it like one of those anime things where they like have a sword and they're just like shing, and then the other person just like
basically
fall into pieces?
But instead of a sword, it was a skateboard.
Oh,
because he had a skateboard in his hand. He gets shoved back. Skateboard comes up, grabs it, swings, connects with the truck, so the metal part of the board, hits the guy right in the fucking face.
How about that?
Right in the face, and he just crumbles.
I'm sure, yeah.
And then...
Truck side?
Hits, yeah.
Oh!
That's what I'm saying. Hit him with the truck, like right fucking here. Connects.
Have like the most skateboard...
disgusting sound I've ever heard. It was just fucking like it was awful. And then he crumples and then hits the ground and is laying flat. And his arm is laying down the slope. And he kind of moves and then just tumbles and then goes down the slope. And now he's laying in this 1 foot area where the slope is leaning against the fence. I thought this dude was fucking dead.
Right.
I was like, holy shit. And then eventually he's kind of sitting up and the other guy took off instantly.
That's what I mean.
Fucking bailed, got in his car, screeching out.
Finish what you started. Be
gone.
a man.
He's gone. Everyone's now crowded around this kid. He's fucking just looking up. We don't see any blood. He's just sitting there, just fucking staring, blinking hard, he's doing this. And we're like, okay.
He's concussed.
And then, I was hanging out with one of my friends. We just left. We're like, we'll just get out of here.
A little too much drama.
I was like, we'll get the fuck out of here.
Spot's a little too hot tonight. Let's.
And then there's 4 different people on the phone, fucking calling the police,
sure, yeah.
getting a fucking ambulance.
Yeah, so they got that handled. So you can go. Yeah.
Way to go, Karen.
Next time we go back, about a month later, we hear what happened. Apparently, he crushed his entire orbital bone.
The eye socket.
Whole fucking orbital bone crushed. All down here, cheekbone was crushed, caved in, and he lost half his fucking teeth over here. And they showed me a picture of him in the hospital after. It was fucking. He had
just
stitches,
mangled. Yeah.
Stitches. Now it looked like he got attacked by a dog. He was
bit by a shark in the face.
And it was stitches and
he was a lion tamer, and it was his first day trying the whole in the mouth trick.
The main purpose was because he slept with someone else's girl.
As far as I could tell, it was just flirting.
That is so not fucking worth it, too.
And he gets shoved. The guy freaked out, fucking swung his board, connected in the worst way possible. Again, it was.
Let me say this to the guys that do that.
Shit.
Gentlemen, if you have insecurities about your woman going up, confront her, please. Don't hit her with a skateboard. Don't assault her.
Hit her with the skateboard. Be a man.
Truck smasher now.
The fuck?
Don't
hit
pull
the
Zach
wrong
Stacy.
person.
No. That's not what I'm saying. then show her the door. There's no reason for that because he's gonna fuck her behind your back or to your face regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hold on. But I got a question for you. But you said skateboard. I just remembered when I was 9. I had a Razor. You remember those? I had a Razor scooter.
Okay.
And there's a button you can.
Oh,
push
that releases the.
And I beat a kid with that.
Nice.
I just started fucking hitting him.
It's like some transporter shit when he hits him with the tire iron.
Yeah, no, the kid was talking shit and he wanted to fight, so I fucking hit that, grabbed and started beat. I was 9, and back then I didn't know how to fight, so I just used that and started hitting him with it.
I swung the Razor scooter around, hit him in the ankle, and he died instantly.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
Real quick, there was one. I got one little one now that you just reminded me of.
Because I have a question for you.
Touch football in the street. I might have been 9 years old. And interestingly enough, one of our neighbors who used to be all-time quarterback, because he was much older than us, he was 16, I was 10, 9, and everybody else was too. But it was some sort of family situation. His uncle was also our age. So it's something happened, and they had a kid, but technically that makes him his uncle, grandparents had a kid, you know what I mean? Or adopted him.
Yeah, grandparents adopted him because then he'd be an uncle,
right.
Even if he's younger.
And his name was Doug. And Doug was kind of okay.
Doug Flutie?
No. Doug. But Doug was all right. It lasted a couple times, whatever, he came to visit. And this time in particular, he decided that because his team was winning, he wanted to be a bad winner. And, I decided to be a sore loser, right? He was rubbing it in my fucking face. And I'm just first of all, you've done 2 things this whole game, jack and shit. You're just fucking luck, and that doesn't mean you get to run. And it's my fault, but I did. I took him by the scruff of the neck and the back, and as he was running towards the end zone where his team was scoring, and just skidded him along the asphalt, just shredded, just road rash, like he got in a motorcycle accident.
Oh, that's nice.
Totally uncalled for.
That's hot. We always played in the grass.
No, you could shove into the grass.
Yeah, we always
two-hand
played
touch.
grass.
But if you're on the corner, you could shove and you could tackle into the grass. You're not allowed to tackle onto a driveway. You're not allowed to tackle onto the street.
I remember those rules, yeah.
And because, like I said, there was an all-time QB that was a few years older than us. He was much bigger. We at least put flags on him. Because sometimes he was so quick that you couldn't two-hand touch. So, okay, flag on him. Everyone else is two-hand touch. But you can hit people into the grassy areas where the sidewalks are. But, that got messy every now and then.
Even if
too.
they're not going to catch the ball, you just fucking peg them.
Well, there's
Pretty
one time
much,
where,
yeah. We fucking wailed on each other pretty good,
We were doing it. We were playing touch football. Or I think we had flags. Like, everyone had flags. And they had 2 trees here, and it was like one end zone. There had 1 tree here, and it was just that line was the end zone, which we always argued about.
Right, yeah.
Because
there's no real
You didn't get past one.
Where's the line?
And then, so there's 2,
look at the tree.
1, and there's another one right here, like towards the other end zone.
Okay.
And this kid, one of our old neighbors, was running, fucking going, hits the tree, just
Oh,
yeah,
right
those
in
are
the
the best.
tree,
Those are
fucking
awesome.
You don't even
smashes
see
against the
it.
tree, falls, and hits his head on a root that's like sticking out of the
A
ground.
buttress root.
And I'm like, oh!
Sucker punched by a tree.
He got up like nothing happened.
And then Ryan went home because he's like, oh, I can't handle this.
This is fucking too real.
Too much.
He got up and he was just like,
What
was I in? We're like,
Did it
wrong
look
tree,
cool?
are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. And we kept playing. And he's like, we all did like the fucking like stance when we're like getting ready
You
to
smell
start.
almonds?
He's just freaking, and he's like on my left, and he's like, primed, ready to go, waiting for the other quarterback to say hike. And I look over at him, just fucking blood all
Oh,
down
right.
his
Scraped
arm.
up by the tree
All
and shit. The
over.
bark all
Yeah,
over.
And I'm like, dude.
I don't
And he's
feel a
like,
thing,
what?
baby.
He's like, oh, and he just starts crying everywhere.
Right, flipped out. Yeah. It doesn't hurt until you see it.
Right.
It never
starts
hurts until you're like, oh my
crying
god,
everywhere.
like my arm's missing.
Because again, we're like 8, 9.
Phantom limb syndrome is real.
Yeah, I
You wanted to ask me something,
yeah,
sorry.
because you say you're a lover, not a fighter, and we were just talking
Obviously, I get, a lot of it's from childhood, and I
about...
mean, I really
I'm
hate
not making
myself.
fun of you. I'm not putting
So
you
you're
down.
It's a little
Dad.
hypocritical. No, but it's a little hypocritical of me to be like, oh, just fucking finish it. Be a man when I sucker punch
it's
somebody.
not. No, this is a serious question.
Okay.
It's not. I'm not. It's whatever. Like, I'm just saying. Could you ever see yourself in this situation? Because a lot of the stories, especially, it was like, guys sleep, girls sleeping with another dude, whatever. Do you think you could ever be in that situation yourself? Like, if you found out your girl was sleeping with somebody, like,
Everybody can fuck off.
If it,
Bye.
but you wouldn't want to,
Oh, I would want to.
but you wouldn't.
if it was
What can I?
presented-
Right. I mean, what can I? If the dude came up to my door and was like, "Yeah," and like rubbing it in my face, "What, you want to
what
fucking
if
go?"
it-
Yeah, we're going. But
what-
that's never gonna happen.
Right.
What if it was
I'm not
someone
gonna hit
you
her
knew?
either. It's gonna hurt worse. What I have to say, if you are caught doing something like that, or infidelity of any kind, and then I'd be like, you know what?
So you can never. So you
That's
can,
what I think about you. And you know what? Now I don't even think about it. One of my exes even told me, like, the hardest hit that ever came was, "I hate you." Like, that pretty much like, that hurt worse than like getting swung in the face with a 2x4.
It's like a parent saying,
I'm disappointed. I'm not a ooh, it cuts deep.
Right.
And words can hurt in that kind of a sense, because if there's a very strong emotion and connection with that person, it's going to mean more.
But
in my opinion.
But even if it was like somebody that you knew,
If it
or
was somebody
considered a
I knew,
friend, you wouldn't.
I'm going to call your ass out on it, but I'm going to fucking write you off. Because I doubt they would want to be in the same room with me. I feel like my voice makes people more... My voice and facial expressions, when I'm upset and angry especially, scares people more than the idea of fighting me, if that makes sense. I don't feel like I'm that's all, folks. How you doing? Intimidating person. But, I mean, I make Lexi uncomfortable. Like, when I'm just, like, dead fucking silent. I'm just like... You know what I mean?
She
That's
gets-
how I
Just
get.
fucking,
gets-
Yeah.
whoa,
She gets
okay.
uncomfortable
Like, it's scarier.
all the
Like,
time,
they
yeah.
would rather I fucking lose my shit and fly off the handle. That's the reaction people want. Like I said, go ahead and hit me for... I've won fights by not throwing a punch as well. By getting hit by somebody.
And-
And then just being like... I wasn't even really, but I was just boys with them, so they got all wired up. And I've been slapped, hit in the back of the head a couple of times, and actually wrapped the dude's arm up around him, and then he's like, "Get the fuck off of me!" And I looked, I was like, dude, it's me. Like, we've been having a good night this whole time. I get it. I'm not with your crew and everything. That dude acted a fool. And yeah, did the next date I have a couple lumps in the back of my head? Did it fucking hurt? Sure. But that didn't make me want to go find that kid and fucking hit him. It didn't even make me want to hit him in the moment. Sure, I was upset, but it's not really worth it in that setting to me anymore. It's not like Sherlock Holmes, if you've seen that movie, where he's like, first thing I'm going to do is, throat punch, discombobulate.
Right.
I'm not planning the moves in my head,
Right.
but I'm at least somehow cognizant and able to somewhat think in the situation instead of just seeing red and blind rage and just going nuts, because you either end up dead, killing somebody by accident, making the fight even worse.
There's a lot of stuff that can go
so many
wrong.
things that can go wrong. So, like I said, I try to diffuse if I can, and even getting hit. Did I want to just throw a punch at him? Sure. But now that's every more reason, and now I'm implicated in all of it as well.
Right.
Whereas his reaction wasn't even anger at me, even though I was the one that he was trying to hit. Like he looked all upset, and I was like, it's me. He almost looked like he was going to cry. Like the emotion and the, whoa, and I'm in a fight is just like, it's almost like you're going to watch grown men cry in the middle of it.
Right.
Because they're not professionals. These aren't boxers. These aren't MMA guys. You ever seen a street fight? It's not choreographed like kung fu movies and TV.
Right.
It's an absolute slop fest, and it's just people. It's almost like a hockey fight.
So it's like a tornado.
Right. Like I said, girls, they grab the hand, they Jewish hammer. Guys fight like hockey players. They grab a fistful of shirt and just haymakers. Let's just keep going until someone's got to do the turtle.
So,
and you hope it doesn't progress from there into an unsafe, like potentially lethal situation when someone's down on the ground. That's the other thing. Right. Bystanders.
Most of the time when it drops, people get pulled off. But when it doesn't,
and someone's not like your boy in high school, it's like having to get tased and fighting with the SROs himself. Like, that's a nut job. Like, you don't know who you're encountering when you're having to separate the situation as well.
Now,
let's get some NFL refs in there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, guys!
They do a great job.
They're huge and they're... Stop it!
I would say, like, for that instance, like if I had a girlfriend cheating on me with somebody, like, if I didn't know them, I wouldn't.
It is easier. It is easier, I would say. Not easy, but easier to take.
There's only one betrayal.
But if it was somebody that I knew, like that I considered a friend that I knew,
that makes it a little worse.
That was, I know this wouldn't happen.
No, absolutely.
This is a hypothetical. The hypothetical, Lexi. Okay?
Hypothetical.
Let's just say if you slept with, I had a girlfriend and you slept with her, right?
I would expect you to kill us both.
I would have to lay hands on you. Like, if you're in my group and we're family, we're friends and all, and then I find that out, I'm going to have, now if I don't know you, I don't know you.
It still hurts as bad as it does,
then
and you're still upset with
then
them.
Then you exile her. Because then you don't know what you're walking into. He whatever. But like that's how I differ.
That's how you end up dead. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but it's like.
Would you go out of your way to fight that person?
Who?
Like, if in this situation, like, would you fucking drive to wherever they're at and fucking.
A random or the friend?
Friend.
The friend. Yeah. Oh, I'm showing up at your fucking house.
See, like in
because you're crossing, you're breaking guy code, friend code, you're breaking it all.
Everything, yeah. That pretty much meant that this was worth more than the entire foundation of the friendship that came before it.
And it's not even about her. I don't give a fuck about her.
Right.
I mean,
just threw all of that in my face.
She could have cheated with me with anybody,
yeah.
But you decided to get in on the cut, and then that's the problem, right? And that's why I have no problem. I'll fucking show up at your job.
I would expect you to kill me.
I don't give a fuck. And again, hypothetical.
Oh, absolutely.
But
I see what you mean.
Right.
Like I said, I try to avoid it, kind of.
If it was presented to me, I would get in a fight, but I wouldn't seek it out. Either way.
I would probably go like Tyler Durden, just full on, just let you just fucking boom, and just keep laughing.
Okay, so you're telling me hypothetical. Okay, hypothetical.
I feel like I'd be so angry to the point.
If I slept with your girl, you're not gonna come confront me and possibly lay hands on me?
I would be. I feel like I'd be so.
You may hit me with the skateboard.
Angry. I'd probably bring that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't seek it out.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't seek it out. Like, I would just be fucking like, I'd be just seething.
Waiting for your moment, sort of thing.
if it happens, and if it doesn't,
Right,
I
run
get over
into
it,
a
and I'm
mouse,
fine.
right.
Like you'd be cut off completely, done. But if I'm just doing my thing, like whatever,
Even years
and then I see
later,
you at
yeah.
like out in public, I'm like, but fucking see
Right.
red, you know.
Okay.
But I'm
Even
not gonna
years
seek it
later,
out.
right? You're not
Yeah.
going to confront it. Even though, like 10 years have passed, you'd still be like that fucking piece
Well,
of shit.
no, that's
Yeah.
no, that's different.
Okay.
That's
No, I get
I'm
that. It's
saying,
different.
like,
He still explained what you asked.
right. No, I get if you add like a time link to it, it's kind of different.
Makes
But
it
I'm
easier.
saying like if I just found out it just happened like last month.
Yeah, no.
I'm seeking it out. If it
the table.
happened, if it happened 10 years, I'm going to be bad that I wasn't aware. But whatever. You know what I mean? But
I'd be like, fuck you,
right.
but I wouldn't fight at that point.
Right.
There's no-
What's your
But
go-to? You go for straight, just overpowering strength. Do you have like a
I'm going.
method?
Yeah, I'm going for. I'm going for strength. I'm gonna pin you up against the wall. I'm gonna grapple
Try to
you.
get you to the ground
I'm gonna
first,
grapple you, slam you to the ground.
What about
bound
you? Do you have like an approach?
I got a whole plethora.
If you like feel like you're walking into a fight situation, or
Because, like I said, like most of the fights that I've gotten into are just kind of like scrums, I guess, where you're just kind of like shoving with the other person, and then eventually you get pulled apart, and you can just fucking ego stroke. Like, yeah, fuck you, and you're not actually fighting. You're just basically just wrestling. So I guess like a combination of just like shoving and punching.
I go crazy route.
You gotta
like
go-
I said, I describe it like go ahead and hit me. I'll fucking spit blood in your face and
You gotta be careful
hit
now.
me again.
You gotta be careful
I want you to
nowadays.
hit me as hard as you can.
But you gotta be careful nowadays. Even though you may think it's a one-on-one fist fight.
Oh, it never is,
Well,
man.
yeah.
They always everybody's got to bring your boys, bro.
Well, no, not just that. He could have a knife, a gun, whatever. It's not a.
That's why you wrap them up.
But
Honestly, though, yeah. Let's be real. The guys that bring the guns to the fights, you're a bunch of fucking pussies. You're a pussy. I get it. You're that scared.
I mean, you are that scary.
Fear for your life. That's what the cops say, right? Anyway.
And on that note, I'd say this: don't fight.
Don't fight.
don't fight.
Don't
Don't
fight.
get
It's
into
not a
it.
good look. It hurts. Don't do it.
Unless if you have.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends?
You know, I knew a song was.
Why
coming.
can't we
I really
be
did.
friends? Why can't we be friends?
Yeah.
Aw.
And this show wouldn't be a good show without him singing.
Right,
I'm
at least
just
once,
saying.
right?
Exactly. Have a good night.
Let it eat.